Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Eddie Murphy Jr. here in Maple Scissor, Edmonton, Canada. 86 is the movement, Canada. So, guys, I'm back with my 86 sites, and I'm about to 86 somebody. So, before I get into who this video is addressed to, I want to tell the people, like, you know, I've been on YouTube a long while, and I have a lot of followers. I know I only have 98 subscribers here right now, but my channel at one point was a lot bigger than this. As you know, I gave it away to another YouTuber from New York. And I'm not from New York, but I gave it to a guy from New York. I'm from Edmonton, Canada, as I said at the beginning, just to make that, you know, point clear. So, what I'm getting at is, you know, I was usually involved in, like, the prison, I guess, / gang genre in the United States / Canada kind of thing, the prison genre, you know, me and White Mike and all that. We kind of went from that, you know, and I was into the hip-hop scene a little bit. But now, what I've been really watching is the BKB, the bare knuckle boxing over in the United Kingdom, okay? And it's very good, you know, it's very entertaining. It was awesome. But now, a certain somebody come along that is blaming people for muddying the water. But really, he was the one muddying the water. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. But I feel that he is not good for the BKB. He's good for the BKB trolls, okay? If that makes any sense. The trolling aspect of the BKB and all that, yeah, he's perfect for it. But for the real, you know, he says he wants to fight. But okay, that's my first one. I'm going to address Apollo Creed, okay? Got to be addressed. Apollo. Okay. Right out the bat, I'm going to address this right here, right now. Okay? Then I'm going to go into my issue with you, I guess. You know, but first, how can you throw a challenge out there, okay, in the BKB world, okay? So this is the problem I have. How can a troll, this guy is a troll, okay? Apollo, you are a troll. Nothing but a troll. As of right now, you have not showed your identity, okay? Hence why I'm doing this video the way I'm doing it, okay? So how can you put Brett May and say that he ain't want to fight you? You got to first come out, okay? I wonder how these travelers feel of the Apollo, the traveling community of this fight. You want to, so what it is now, okay? How Apollo feels now, he can put up 10 grand. Nobody knows who he is. So he can get any fighter he wants at this point now and say that, and it could be to him the whole time that was the challenge. No one knows who Apollo is. So for Brett May, he ain't taking you serious, Apollo. That's the situation. You know what I mean? At first, yes, he was trolling along with you, right? But you're a troll, buddy. That's all you are, is a troll. So how, you being a troll, can you get involved in challenging the way that these traveling men and this BKB world works? You're making a mockery of it right now. I can see what you're doing. All these other people are behind you, you know, because of this DECA situation, the way you come out about it, you know. And let's get into that. Let's get into that. I see you on the Cess-pit, and I know you see my comments, okay? Now, I didn't mind you at first. You were coming in, you know, you were saying you were going to give DECA a fair route, whatever, like, you know. And to be honest with you, I was first, way back in the day when I first started seeing the BKB, was through DECA. That's, you know, he was the first one I seen, DECA Heggie, you know, that's who popped up on my feed. Watched it. Actually, wow, this guy's tough. He's in the movies, da-da-da-da, but then all this stuff kept coming out. And I was on his side at first. Why, you know? Because I've seen people in his situation. You know, like everyone knows my situation with White Mike. You know, he was trolled off of YouTube. You know, plain and simple. That's why I have these issues with trolls like Apollo, right? big bully Apollo. That's what I call you, the big bully Apollo. You know why you're the big bully? Because you can be, because nobody knows who you are. No one knows anything about you, you know. But anyway, haul the brakes there. Back to what I was saying. Okay, so I got watching Decahegi. Then when the expose come out, as soon, okay, you got to understand too, like, I'm a man of morals. I came from the streets. I was a bad man most of my life, okay? A bad man in the streets. Not a bad man to women. Not a bad man to anybody outside of the game. But in the game, I was a bad man. I did what I needed to do to keep going up in the game and in the streets. I knew what I had to do, and I did what I had to do. You know, I had a kid. Once I had a kid, I got out of it, okay? Once I had a kid, I got out of it, right? So, but I have morals still, and my morals are to that, okay? And that's what my morals are too. Plain and simple, are the street morals. And that's where I think a lot of people are getting mixed up in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are really getting mixed up in the moral situation, okay? So, back to what I was saying. So what I was saying was, when Decahegi put up the expose, okay? And the minute he put up that newspaper clipping of that him and that woman back at the, when he knew her from the gym and was a bar doorman at the bar, chased her into the bathroom. That's a sexual offense. Right there and then is a nonce. What you guys call a nonce. Over here in Canada, we call it diddler, whatever, right? You call him a nonce. So right off the bat, he's a nonce. Right from looking at that. And that goes to differ a little bit. I had a few conversations with Darren G back and forth in the IG. And that was at this time. And I explained to Darren, like, Darren, man, he's no good. Like, look, right in that newspaper clipping, you know, if he was in jail, he wouldn't be able to be housed with us, bro. Like me, when I was in prison, and I'm not bragging about prison, I'm not bragging about what I done, I got a street charge for nearly killing a diddler, a nonce in prison. Right? And it really affected my prison sentence, because here in Canada, your first prison sentence, if I had 3.5 years after that, I ended up doing 5. So I picked up more charges besides that one. I only got 6 months for the attempted murder, but it got dropped to assault with a weapon on an inmate. And over here, I don't know what it's like in Britain. You don't get much for, they are giving street charges for inmates, but it's not like doing it on the street. I guess they take into account the environment you live in, right? Because I never had a choice. I had to do what I did. He admitted to me what he was, and I had no choice but to do what I did. It's on site, right? And so this is what I was explaining to Darren, that Deca is 100% a nonce because of that newspaper clipping. And that's where I don't understand how the Decahegi situation is over as far as it is. You understand? Because that charge alone is a sexual conviction. In a prison, he cannot be housed in general population. He can be if he wants to be, but as soon as his paperwork comes, he's getting it. No matter how tough he thinks he is, it's going to happen. You know what prison's like. He ain't, for the people that's been in there, doesn't matter how big you are, you know. He's going to get it in jail. And that's what I was getting at with Darren G, was the simple fact. The simple fact that he cannot go, right? That is it, right? And that's one thing, you know, that I want to get with everybody. Is, okay, in prison here in Canada, in prison, okay, a nonce is a nonce. You rape, you're not allowed out in prison. That's it, right? But sad to say, now, people, don't hold this against me. You know, I'm not saying this is my morals, but in the streets and in prison, okay, if you beat up a girl they're not going to check you in prison. You can still walk around prison. They're not going to, like, we used to joke and say the woman beating association and joke around and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people in there for killing their wives. When I was there was a lot of people in there for killing their wives. You know what I mean? It's a lot worse than beating their wives, isn't it? And these people are people that were respected people in the jail, right? So when it comes to that stuff, guys, you know, I know that, you know, you guys or whatever trying to, but you got to understand, like, people are like Darren G and Marvin Herbert. I don't know if Marvin Herbert did a lot of time in jail, but he was involved in the streets a lot. Ben Hatchett. I can go on. There's a lot of people that's been in jail. And the morals are the morals of jail. You know what I mean? And that's it. And that's why, you know, other people got crimes on them. And that's it. It's accepted in jail. And the way it is in prison, you do your time. That's why you're in there. You're in there to pay for your crimes. That's why you go to prison. So any man, okay, who's done a crime that's not a nonce, didn't rat on somebody, okay, yes, they might have beat up a woman or beat up a female member of their family or something like that. It's not right in the eyes of a straight John, no. But in the criminal world, in the penitentiary, that is a crime that you are allowed to serve your time in general population for and then get out and not have to go to protective custody. Okay? And that's the difference I'm finding that the muddy in the water here is, you know. And a lot of these people that you guys are watching are ex-criminals, ex-people that's been did a lot of jail and prison. And these are the morals that they had to live by. Now, I don't know if anyone has brought this up ever. You know, it's not a very good thing. I know. Right? Me, I've never hit a woman or anything like that. Okay? But people I've been to penitentiaries with have killed their wives, beat their wives, yes. You know what I mean? And they're well-known people in population. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to go pick a fight with them because of what they've done in their personal life. As long as they're not a sexual offender, they didn't rat on nobody, they can get a fair go in this penitentiary. And the way it is, I feel, speaking of morals again, is plain and simple. Once you do the time for your crime, you paid society. So nobody has the right to say anything to you about your crime if you paid for the time for it in jail. Okay? Now, that don't go for nonsense. Okay? Because they don't deserve jail. They deserve death. Okay? I feel that they shouldn't even have been put in jail. And if they're put in jail, they should have to go in general population and get what's coming to them. I really do feel that. Right? You know what I mean? And they are. They're hidden in jails and you don't know sometimes. Some of them are the craziest people you ever met. You don't even know, but when it comes out, don't matter how crazy they are, they're getting it. So anyway, guys, that's my little rant. And, you know, Apollo, I think first off, you should come out and show us who you are before you go challenging anybody in the BKB world. And honestly, stop. You already did stop portraying that you're with a certain group. Because Deca is a nonce from the beginning. You're all wasting your time. Once you showed that paperwork on the newspaper, an article of a sexual conviction on a woman, that means he's a nonce. I don't know what anybody's hanging on to him wanting to see any paperwork. It makes no sense to me. Anyway, y'all, I'm out.